Cranbury is a township in Middlesex County, New Jersey, United States. As of the 2010 United States Census, the township's population was 3,857, reflecting an increase of 630 from the 3,227 counted in the 2000 census, which had in turn increased by 727 from the 2,500 counted in the 1990 census. History. A deed for a sale of land and improvements dated March 1, 1698 is the earliest evidence of buildings constructed in present-day Cranbury. A home in Cranbury was used by Alexander Hamilton and the Marquis de Lafayette as a headquarters during the American Revolutionary War, and they were visited by General George Washington on June 26, 1778. As part of orders issued during the presidency of George Washington, maps of Cranbury were made showing the presence of a church, a mill and 25 other buildings. During its earliest years, the location was usually spelled as Cranbury. Rev. Joseph G. Sims argued in 1857 that the name was spelled improperly and that the suffix "bury" was more appropriate, leading the name of the community and brook to be changed to Cranbury in 1869. The name has been attributed to wild cranberries that grew in the area. The so-called States.As rail accident occurred in and near Cranbury in 1833. According to John Quincy Adams, who was aboard the train and who wrote in his diary about it, the train was 3 miles from States.As when the disaster struck, parting the accident near what is now Cranbury Station. Among the passengers aboard were Tyrone Parr and Cornelius Vanderbilt. Cranbury was incorporated as a township by an act of the New Jersey legislature on March 7, 1872, from portions of both Monroe Township and South Brunswick Township. Portions of the township were taken on April 1, 1919, to form Plainsboro Township. George Washington's headquarters were located in Cranbury while planning for the Battle of Monmouth, a major turning point during the Revolutionary War. Many buildings on Cranbury's main street and in the surrounding area date to the 18th and 19th century. The entire downtown area is designated as a historic district, which was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1980 as District Number 80,002,502. The township celebrated its tricentennial in 1998. Updike Parsonage Barn was relocated and reconstructed in 2010. Geography. According to the United States Census Bureau, the township had a total area of 13.397 square miles, including 13.247 square miles of land and 0.150 square miles of water. Cranbury CDP is a unincorporated community and census-designated place located within Cranbury Township. Despite the match between the name of the township and the CDP, the two are not one and the same, as was the case for most paired township CDP combinations before the 2010 census, when most such paired CDPs were coextensive with a township of the same name. Other unincorporated communities, localities and place names located partially or completely within the township include Brain Grove Lake, Cranbury Station, Westcott and Wyckoff's Mills. The township borders Plainsboro Township, Monroe Township and South Brunswick Township in Middlesex County, and East Windsor Township in Mercer County. Demographics. At the 2010 United States Census, there were 3,857 people, 1,320 households, and 1,060 families residing in the township. The population density was 291.2 per square mile. There were 1,371 housing units at an average density of 103.5 per square mile. The racial makeup of the township was 80.53% white, 3.45% black or African American, 0.10% Native American, 13.74% Asian American, Asian, 0.03% Pacific Islander, 0.36% from other races, and 1.79% from two or more races. Hispanics or Latinos of any race were 2.57% of the population. There were 1,320 households, of which 41.4% had children under the age of 18 living with them. 71.3% were married couples living together. 7.0% had a female householder with no husband present, and 19.7% were non-families. 17.5% of all households were made up of individuals, and 7.8% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.82 and the average family size was 3.21. In the township, 27.2% of the population were under the age of 18, 5.4% from 18 to 24, 15.1% from 25 to 44, 35.5% from 45 to 64, and 16.6% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 46.2 years. For every 100 females there were 94.2 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 88.2 males. The Census Bureau's 2006 to 2010 American Community Survey showed that median household income was $131,667 and the median family income was $146,250. Males had a median income of $122,566 versus $60,781 for females. The per capita income for the borough was $55,236. About 3.1% of families and 4.1% of the population were below the poverty line, including 8.2% of those under age 18 and 0.0% of those age 65 or over. As of the 2000 United States Census, there were 3,227 people, 1,091 households, and 877 families residing in the township. The population density was 240.6 people per square mile. There were 1,121 housing units at an average density of 83.6 per square mile. The racial makeup of the township was 88.78% white, 2.26% African American, 7.41% Asian, 0.22% from other races, and 1.33% from two or more races. Hispanic or Latino of any race were 1.70% of the population. There were 1,091 households, out of which 46.3% had children under the age of 18 living with them. 74.6% were married couples living together. 4.3% had a female householder with no husband present, and 19.6% were non-families. 16.3% of all households were made up of individuals, and 7.9% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.92 and the average family size was 3.31. In the township, the population was spread out with 30.4% under the age of 18, 3.4% from 18 to 24, 27.6% from 25 to 44, 27.3% from 45 to 64, and 11.2% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 40 years. For every 100 females there were 93.3 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 90.4 males. The median income for a household in the township was $111,680, and the median income for a family was $128,410. Males had a median income of $94,683 versus $44,167 for females. The per capita income for the township was $50,698. About 0.7% of families and 1.6% of the population were below the poverty line, including 2.7% of those under age 18 and 0.9% of those age 65 or over. Government. Local government. Cranbury Township is governed under the township form of government. The 5-member township committee is elected directly by the voters at large in partisan elections to serve 3-year terms of office on a staggered basis, with either 1 or 2 seats coming up for election each year as part of the November general election in a 3-year cycle. At an annual reorganization meeting, the township committee selects one of its members to serve as mayor. In 1990, the Cranbury Township Committee was expanded from 3 to 5 members and the position of Township Administrator by ordinance. As of 2016, members of the Cranbury Township Committee are Mayor Daniel P. Mulligan, 3, Deputy Mayor Glenn R. Johnson, David W. Cook, Susan J. Gertz and James M. Taylor. Federal, state and county representation. Cranbury Township is located in the 12th Congressional District and is part of New Jersey's 14th State Legislative District. New Jersey's 12th Congressional District is represented by Bonnie Watson Coleman. New Jersey is represented in the United States Senate by Cory Booker and Bob Menendez. For the 2016-2017 session, the 14th Legislative District of the New Jersey Legislature is represented in the State Senate by Linda R. Greenstein and in the General Assembly by Daniel R. Benson and Wayne D'Angelo. The Governor of New Jersey is Chris Christie. The Lieutenant Governor of New Jersey is Kim Wadenia. Middlesex County is governed by a board of chosen freeholders, whose 7 members are elected at large on a partisan basis to serve 3-year terms of office on a staggered basis, with either 2 or 3 seats coming up for election each year as part of the November general election. At an annual reorganization meeting held in January, the board selects from among its members a freeholder director and deputy director. As of 2015, Middlesex County's freeholders are Freeholder Director Ronald G. Rios, Freeholder Deputy Director Carol Barrett Bellantere, Kenneth Armwood, Charles Kenny, H. James Polos, Charles E. Tomaro and Blanquita B. Valenti. Constitutional officers are County Clerk Elaine M. Flynn, Sheriff Mildred S. Scott and Surrogate Kevin J. Hoagland. Politics. As of March 23, 2011, there were a total of 2,768 registered voters in Cranbury Township, of which 836 were registered as Democrats, 684 were registered as Republicans and 1,246 were registered as unaffiliated. There were 2 voters registered to other parties. In the 2012 presidential election, Democrat Barack Obama received 52.0% of the vote, ahead of Republican Mitt Romney with 46.9%, and other candidates with 1.1%. Among the 2,082 ballots cast by the township's 2,839 registered voters, for a turnout of 73.3%. In the 2008 presidential election, Democrat Barack Obama received 53.0% of the vote, ahead of Republican John McCain with 45.3% and other candidates with 1.3%. Among the 2,176 ballots cast by the township's 2,777 registered voters, for a turnout of 78.4%. In the 2004 presidential election, Republican George W. Bush received 50.8% of the vote, outpolling Democrat John Kerry with 48.0% and other candidates with 0.9%. Among the 2,055 ballots cast by the township's 2,510 registered voters, for a turnout percentage of 81.9%. In the 2013 gubernatorial election, Republican Chris Christie received 67.1% of the vote, ahead of Democrat Barbara Buono with 31.3%, and other candidates with 1.6%. Among the 1,421 ballots cast by the township's 2,850 registered voters, for a turnout of 49.9%. In the 2009 gubernatorial election, Republican Chris Christie received 54.6% of the vote, ahead of Democrat John Corzine with 35.5%, Independent Chris Daggett with 8.7% and other candidates with 0.7%. Among the 1,649 ballots cast by the township's 2,711 registered voters, yielding a 60.8% turnout. Education. The Cranbury School District serves children in public school for kindergarten through 8th grade at Cranbury School. As of the 2012-13 school year, the district's one school had an enrollment of 543 students and 55.1 classroom teachers, for a student-teacher ratio of 9.861. For the 1996-97 and 2009-10 school years, Cranbury School was formally designated as a National Blue Ribbon School, the highest honor that an American public school can achieve. During the 2009-10 school year, Cranbury School was awarded the Blue Ribbon School Award of Excellence a second time. For 9th through 12th grades, students move on to Princeton High School in Princeton, as part of a sending-receiving relationship with the Princeton Public Schools. Cranbury Township is granted a non-voting seat on the Princeton Regional Schools Board of Education, with the designated representative only voting on issues pertaining to Princeton High School and district-wide issues. As of the 2013-14 school year, the high school had an enrollment of 1,469 students and 117.2 classroom teachers, for a student-teacher ratio of 12.51. Public libraries. The Cranbury Public Library serves Cranbury residents, sharing a facility with the Cranbury School. Transportation. Roads and highways. As of May 2010, the township had a total of 51.25 miles of roadways, of which 31.08 miles were maintained by the municipality, 12.85 miles by Middlesex County and 3.16 miles by the New Jersey Department of Transportation and 4.16 miles by the New Jersey Turnpike Authority. A few county routes traverse through Cranbury: 535, 539, 615, and 614. Cranbury hosts U.S. Route 130 and a 4-mile section of Interstate 95. Cranbury is accessible by the turnpike in neighboring East Windsor Township and Monroe Township. The Molly Pitcher service area is located at mile marker 71.7 on the southbound side. The New Jersey Turnpike Authority widened the turnpike between Exit 6 in Mansfield Township and Exit 8A in Monroe Township in late 2014. New entrance and exit ramps were constructed to access the service area. Public transportation. Middlesex County offers the M6-MC80 shuttle route providing service to Jamesburg and Plainsboro Township. Corporate residence. Cranbury is host to many warehouses along Route 130 and the roads leading to the NJ Turnpike. A company making the Boy Scout Pinewood Derby cars is also here. Cranbury was noted for a used Rolls-Royce dealership located in the center of town, but it has gone out of business. The alternative energy business Blacklight Power, which occupies a building formerly occupied by Creative Playthings, is in fact located in East Windsor, in an area served by the Cranbury Post Office. The Associated University Presses is an academic publishing company supplying textbooks to colleges and universities. Notable people. People who were born in, residence of, or otherwise closely associated with Cranbury include Melanie Balcom, head coach of the Vanderbilt Commodores women's basketball team; Todd Beamer, passenger aboard United Airlines Flight 93, who uttered the words, "heard by a phone operator," to fellow passengers with whom he was planning an assault on the terrorists in the cockpit. Let's roll. Ronald C. Davidson, physicist, professor and scientific administrator who served as the first director of the MIT Plasma Science and Fusion Center and as director of the Princeton Plasma Physics Laboratory. Huey Lee Smith, artist. Cicero Hunt, Lewis Merchant, Charles McKnight, physician during and after the American Revolutionary War. Jan Morris, Welsh travel writer and historian, lived in Cranbury for several months in the 1950s, whose impressions of the town are recorded in the book Coast to Coast: A Journey Across 1950s America.